Hey guys, it's Tiny Tom Logan back with another video for you. And today we're going to be taking a look at a couple, actually, or two of the RTX 5080s. Now, I do want to say right from the get-go that you can go to the OC3D website. I'll put the click link underneath so that you can go and dissect all the graphs, have a look at a lot more data, and ingest more if you want to do some reading. Because there is lots more information over there. But I have got the 5080 Founders Edition, which is going to obviously be the MSRP of, we're seeing 979 GBP and then 999 in USD. Now, today is MSRP day, which means I am actually allowed to show you the Zotac Solid, which I also have in because it is an MSRP card, which in itself is quite a shocker, and it's probably where I'm going to be focusing most of my attention today. But the design for the 5080 Founders is pretty much exactly the same as the 5090. It's exactly the same size. You've still got the small PCB in the middle. The only thing that I would say is because there's less going on underneath the hood, and I'm sure you would have seen the differences, but it's almost half the card, and by that I mean like half the specs of the 5090. But because there's less going on underneath the hood, it does mean that it's struggling less with temps. So what I am going to do, because we're straight away talking about temperatures, and it is quite an important thing with the Founders. Now, the 5090 did hit 80 degrees, but then the fans would adjust accordingly, and it didn't ever get loud. But with the 5080, it just doesn't get to that threshold point anyway, so it doesn't get hot, as you'll see in the graph. So I'm not going to say it's a quieter experience, because the 5090 wasn't a loud experience, but this is definitely a much calmer and more sensible approach. It's still the dual slot, it's still not enormous, it is kind of the card that a lot of people want. But then what we also need to contend with is the Founders Edition is kind of, I don't want to say entry level, but a lot of people used to buy Founders because of water blocks and then water cooling, but because of that small PCB and the fact that we know that they've used liquid metal, we're still unsure what's going to happen with or for a water block for the Founders. Being able to clean liquid metal is a much more hands-on process. It's not going to be paste. There's a lot more that you need to kind of think of and contend with. It might not necessarily be something for an end user, and that's where the AIB cards come in. Now, AIB cards, there's a lot of people out there going crazy about the prices going above MSRP. It's nothing new. Yes, we are allowed to get unsettled about it, but you do get MSRP cards. This is one, but there will always be more expensive ones as well, because they just throw more bells and whistles at it. The thing to remember as well is Nvidia bundle the actual graphics chip with the memory to go with it. There isn't a reference PCB as such, so everyone's kind of got their own model. But what it does mean is, yes, you're going to get your lower end ones, which are still going to perform exceptionally well. But then as we go through the stack, you're going to get ones with bigger, better coolers and more power limits and just better componentry. As with everything, you get a car for a certain price and then they add things on throughout the range. We don't need to lose our minds about it. We're obviously all going, or a lot of us are going to try and get a cheaper or an MSRP card if we can. And that's one of the reasons why I'm actually really happy and feel lucky to have had this Zotac Solid model in time for launch, because if I'm honest, it's a bit of a shocker when it does come to build quality and the way it performs as well. So you've already seen the power and the temperatures, but the Zotac itself is a special bit of kit, because this does not feel like an MSRP card. It is built like an absolute tank. Now, if you look at the gold bar that goes all the way around the outside, that's an aluminium brace. I know a lot of you don't like me saying it the British way, which is aluminium, so I'll say aluminum for those of you in the United States of Americas. And you can see that huge aluminum brace that runs right the way through the card. It does go right the way around the outside and then all of the way around the back. It is in contact with the PCB in several places, cooling the memory as well. But you still get this humongous air cooler right the way through. And then you can see the pass-through on the back. And it is a brute of a graphics card. Now, as I pop the little cover off of the back, it is a brute of a graphics card. The only thing that I don't like is the way that you select the BIOS. Now, when it starts or when you click the BIOS, you'll see it flash red or flash blue for sort of like gaming, or the performance mode and then the silent mode. I actually still prefer the click. I would also still, if you're going to change the BIOS, still make sure you restart between so that you actually get it. But the other thing, this little connector here for the ARGB, it is just in the wrong place. They could have done so much more with it. It's out in no man's land. It doesn't really make any sense. I'm not a fan. In reality, that should have just been done with software or something. And it's the one bit, well actually there's two bits, it's the switch and then the ARGB that I don't like, but everything else about this card I actually love. Like I said, it's built like a tank, and the performance for the power, yes, it did pull a little bit more power. Don't forget those system temps. Sorry, the power draw is for a complete system. I can zoom you in just quickly so that you can see the GPU-Z result for the card on its own, just so that you can kind of get a feel. But the reason why I've got another card here is this is another Zotac card that I had that was MSRP. And if I'm honest, the difference between the two is a bit night and day. This does not feel like it should have been so cheap. Now, when we do look into the performance itself, there isn't a great deal between them. The Zotac is in front more often than it's behind, but the difference between the two is often just a frame or two. The only thing that I would say in the grand scheme of things is overclocking with a bigger card, with a bigger cooler and stuff like that is probably going to be a little bit more fruitful. But in the other thing to contend is the silicon lottery, and we are pretty certain that Nvidia are going to keep the best chips for themselves because everything does get speed binned. Now, as you're seeing stuff popping up over here, you can see the performance. And one of the things I did also want to talk about is people were obviously saying the 5080 was too expensive. Now, I do want to take you back to the days of when they launched the 4080 Founders Edition at $1,199. It's one of the few times that the cards have actually not sold out on launch day, because there was a huge revolt, because this was around the time that the big naming debacle happened and there was going to be a 4080 12GB which turned into the 4070 Ti. And for one of the first times ever, people kind of were very upset, didn't buy them, and then that caused some big changes. So for this to come in at $999 isn't necessarily ideal, but it's still around the same sort of price that the 4080 Super was, and it is still quicker than the 4080 Super. So we have had a minor generational step forward with performance over the Super and definitely over the normal 80. But obviously with this, a lot of the stuff is going on underneath the hood with the AI rather than the graphic stuff, so that things like DLSS 4 play such a bigger role with the performance of the cards. Now, the rasterized performance is still a generational step forward, so that is still there. It's the same sort of price that the 4080 Super was as well, but I think we've got a better designed card. The engineering that's gone into the design of the Founders Edition cooler and then the actual PCB, etc. as well, is a masterstroke. I thought the same with the 5090 Super. But if Zotac can bring out cards like this, sure, not everyone wants a big, heavy card in their system. But for me personally, if I was going to water cool, and this isn't an option, we're going to be looking at things like this, but also that's just going to look like a much better thing in my system, because if you've got the room for a big card, you put a little bit of a brace on the end so it doesn't sag, although this didn't because of this, but obviously we can get very creative with our braces. I think I would be leaning towards this over that, because this actually makes it feel like I've got more value for money. And that's not saying this is bad value for money, because like I said, it's an engineering marvel, but me as an enthusiast, it just feels more chunky. It just feels just a better built card. It does feel like you're getting more for your money. Performance is there or thereabouts, so there's nothing to complain with there. People always end up asking, is Zotac a good brand? Well, I've never had any issues, and I've been abusing this white one for some time, because the thing to remember is when I have stuff like this, it's in and out of systems all the time. I'm always manhandling it, and they only ever work hard. None of my cards really get an easy life, other than the one that actually sits in my main rig, because all that really does is render videos. But they always get a hard life, and this is still going. Cracking cards. I know you're all going to be hunting around on the 30th for actual ones that come in at MSRP. And I think if you get a chance and you don't want a Founders and you want an MSRP big boy, the Zotac should be very high at the top of your list, or if not, at the top of your list. Obviously, I've not had any of the other brands in my hand yet. I've done the best that I can to get these for launch. But the 5080 in itself does definitely get a thumbs up. DLSS 4, I would be using it if I had it available to me. And I'm really looking forward to seeing where they drive it forward. The quality differences are absolutely spot on, even if you don't want to turn MFG on. So that is my very quick review for the Founders Edition 5080, but most importantly, the one that I wanted to draw attention to today, which is the Zotac Solid model, which is an MSRP card. And I have been incredibly impressed, not only with the performance, but the actual build quality, because this thing is built like a tank.